I was at that moment I realised everything was going to work out. All I had to do was keep convincing everyone I was the nicest girl in the world, and then no one would suspect for a second that I was doing anything wrong. The more time I spent in town, the more opportunities I saw to scare people. And then when I heard about Leah and Dan's engagement, I had to send them a little present. I booked 6 tickets on a scenic plane trip. And even though they were sent by someone anonymous, Leah didn't suspect a thing. I tampered with the plane's engine, messed around with its radio, and it went down just like I had planned. But they all survived, thanks to that heroic pilot. I'd heard on the grapevine that some fool employee had made a threat against the plane company, so I framed him for the accident, and the police bought it, hook, line and sinker. After that, I had to bide my time, but, Sally, I was getting bored. My best chance to get at people was when they were all gathered together. Well, I don't suppose there's any big do's coming up. I could wrangle an invite. And then Hayley said there wasn't. So I decided to amuse myself. That's why I sent the letter to the diner. I wanted people to be living in fear. You all deserve nothing less for what you did to Sarah. And from then on, the hysteria just played into my hands. I overheard Robbie and Tashi talking about a tape that had Mark and Josie's argument on it. And then when I heard about the town meeting, well, it was a perfect opportunity. So when you were all gathered together, I decided to go out, give a few of you a scare. I went to the Hunters first and I picked up the tape. That's where I left my first calling card. I'd heard heaps of stories about how Sarah kept saying that on the night of that siege. So I knew it would be perfect. I knew I would freak people out. Next, I went to your place.
You trashed it. You took that photo.
Mm-hmm. Souvenirs. Next morning, I placed the tape on Josie's doorstep. Now, that would have been a perfect way to hurt Jessie too. Josie hadn't realised in time. And then I added the photos to my collection. Everything was going to plan, but I knew one slip-up could ruin everything. That's why I covered for Flynn at the hospital when I found those drugs. I wanted to tell that secret. Believe me, it would have been a great way of getting at the two of you. But I had to keep everyone on side. And I succeeded. I was the girl that everybody loved. And then the police started moving in on the stalker, and I knew I had to act quickly, so I did the only thing I could. I dug up Zoe's bag and started looking for a fall guy.
Mark.
Mm-hmm. That's when the real fun began. My relationship with Kim just sort of happened. Did end up caring about him in the end. To start with, it was just about making me seem inconspicuous. Work too. It's the only way I could get away with what I did. Stumbled across Mark and Josie having a big argument. Josie was convinced Mark was a stalker and she wanted me to tell Peter. I acted bemused, like I had no idea why she was carrying on like that. It was definitely enough to plant the idea in Peter's mind that Mark could be the stalker.
What's going on?
Then, when Mark threatened me for getting involved...
You had to have heard that.
I made Kim believe that he was after me.
A knife attack.
Yeah. Did it myself. Kim had no idea. He totally bought my act. Then all I had to do was tell Peter it was Mark.
For the backpack and all that stuff they found in Mark's car.
I planted it there. And the bloody knife in his house too. After that, I was home free. Everyone thought the stalker was behind bars, so I could just wait for the right moment. You know, people should have listened to you when you said it wasn't Mark.
I just don't think he's capable of it. Are you serious? Well, look, I know he's not the most respectable of human beings.
Yeah, well, that's an understatement.
But you compare him to Sarah Lewis. She was psychotic. That way you attacked me.
No. There's a far greater reason for that. I couldn't stand the way you spoke about her. My Sarah, like she was some kind of evil. You should have just kept your mouth shut and then everything would have been okay.
You pulled the ladder out from under me.
You hit your head. She was still alive. You're lucky your husband came home when he did, because that was the only thing that saved you. I raced around the side of the house and pulled off my dark clothes. And then who should come running in to save you but hero Zoe? Glenn?
Zoe, get in here quickly. Sally's fallen.
What's happened?
I don't know. She's got this massive bump on the back of her head. We need to get her to hospital.
Everyone thought the stalker had been caught, and so no one believed you when you said there was someone else in the house.
And that day in the hospital.
That was me.
Hello, who's there?
Got out of the room just in time for Miss Flynn, and then hero Zoe again.
Oh, no, oh my God.
Couldn't risk another attempt, so I went to plan B.
We'll leave you guys to it, huh?
Colleen wanted some fundraising ideas to help with the Miss Groper pageant. It made it very easy to suggest. I have got it! Why don't you have one of those murder mystery parties? They do them at the country mansion just out of town. I read about it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you. Colleen organised the party, and then you all gathered together. I followed everyone out there and planted the bomb. That was going to be it. Everyone I wanted to get at in the one place at the one time. Till Baker ruined everything.
What about Mark?
Oh, he saw me when he was leaving the house. He was casual as anything to begin with.
What do you do?
Till he realised who I actually was.
Oh, my God, it's you.
Mark Edwards, the suspected stalker, turns up out of the blue right when I plant a bomb. So I made his death look like an accident. But by then, Peter was starting to really annoy me. He kept getting in the way. I wanted to taunt him, so I sent him notes. I was trying to scare him, get him to back off, but he wouldn't. It's lucky that new copper interrupted me when I did, because there was no way I was going to let that happen again. The fool kept calling me Sarah. Can you believe that? He thought she was still alive. He wanted to hypnotise me, take me back to the night of the attack to see if I could remember anything else. I couldn't say no without him getting suspicious, so I agreed. If I was hypnotised, the truth would come out. So I had to pretend to be the stalker's next victim. I called Kim.
Yeah, okay, I guess. Just try not to spin
He thought it was to talk about the whole baby thing.
What's wrong?
Hang on. Then I pretended to hear somebody at the door. Oh, hi. I needed everyone to think that I had been abducted, and I knew the police would trace the blood, so it had to be mine. And it worked. I mean, everyone thought I had been abducted. I sent Peter an email from the stalker saying I had been killed. Everything went to plan until I remembered Sarah's ring. After she died, I was the one who collected her belongings. The ring was the only thing that I kept. It meant a lot to her. But I was distracted in the confusion. I'd left it behind. I'd forgotten to take it with me. It was in the van. I knew if the police traced that ring back to Sarah, then they'd come back to me, so I had to go back to get it.
And that was when...
You were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
What happens to me now?
No, every little bit helps. Thanks, Steve.
Well, the city boys haven't turned up anything at Eve's place in the Cross, so we have no idea where she is. What?
I just spoke to Steve Parker. He tracked out an old coroner's report on a Moya Jacobson, Eve's grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she and her husband raised Eve virtually from birth.
Yeah, and?
Well, Moya burned to death when Eve was 8. A car caught fire. Apparently Eve saw the whole thing. But get this. 2 months later, the family home burned down. Eve's grandfather was trapped inside and lost his life. Cops at the time could never prove it, but the suspicion was that Eve had started the fire.
You're kidding.
No. She spent the next 5 years in and out of foster homes until she landed herself in front of a magistrate for setting her neighbour's pet rabbit alight.
Jesus.
Yeah. She's sentenced to 6 months in a juvenile detention centre.
We need to find Sally, and we need to find her now.
Please don't hurt me. I'll do anything you want. Pippa needs me.
Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. I need your help. It's only a matter of time before the cops ID the ring. I can't wait any longer.
What do you mean?
I came here for revenge. It's exactly what I'm going to get.
What are you going to do?
Oh, not me, Sally. We. Like it or not, you're going to help me destroy Summer Bay.
They know who the stalker is.
You're no use to me anymore.
I don't care about me. I care about my baby. Eve, I'm begging you.
Now, every second is crucial. Can they find the person everyone loves before it's too late? Sally! It's the biggest bombshell to hit the bay next time. 9 girls.